RB's Nuance Machine, episode 2. Let's kick it. So today we are talking about Joe Mixon. Here's the situation.
As far as I know, everybody loves the situation. And if you don't love the situation, I want to make you love the situation.
Neighbors in this Anderson Township neighborhood say the so-called suspicious subjects were teenagers playing dart wars, or as some call it, Nerf wars in the area. But during their game, neighbors say someone fired a real gun. A teen was hurt, but is expected to recover.
There was an incident where shots were fired outside of Joe Mixon's home, and this is all because some teens were playing with Nerf guns outside of his home. Shots were fired, one teen got shot. Seems like the teen is okay for now, but we'll see what happens more with that. This really hits home for me because I did something extremely similar, had a very similar situation happen to me. I don't know, I was like, 15, 16 years old, and we were playing with airsoft guns, kind of like Nerf guns, but they were like little plastic pellets instead of the Nerf balls, or instead of the Nerf darts, rather. But yeah, we were going around shooting around the neighborhood, shooting each other with those. It was one of those middle-class neighborhoods where nobody has a fenced-in backyard, and so we just running from yard to yard, shooting each other, not thinking anything of it, not thinking we're doing anything bad. And next thing you know, the police pull up on us, and luckily that night the cop was cool. He didn't see us as any kind of a threat. He kind of knew exactly what was going on. But it was a very scary situation, and like we were just a bunch of kids. We didn't know any better, and so the fact that someone got shot in this situation is just insane to me, and it really makes me think back on like, wow, we were really kind of lucky that only the police were called, or that the police, when they came, that they weren't coming in guns blazing, because who knows what the person who called said to the police when they wanted them to come out and investigate. They could have said, hey, I think there's kids out here with guns, because technically we did have guns. They were plastic airsoft guns, but guns nonetheless. And so yeah, I look back and see how fortunate we were in that situation. So this is less about Joe Mixon personally, because we don't know who fired the gun in that situation. We just know that it happened at his home. But this is just more about how people tend to overreact when they have tools that are designed for death. Even in the safest of neighborhoods, it's not like this happened in the hood. This happened outside of the home of a multi-millionaire athlete. Earlier, we talked about John Morant flashing guns at a Colorado strip club. Now we have this incident where a minor gets shot outside of Joe Mixon's home. I understand we all have guns to protect ourselves, but there are a growing number of gun owners, it seems from my perspective. There's a growing number of gun owners who just seem to take gun ownership lightly, like they just don't take it seriously. You got to be extremely responsible. It's one of the more responsible things you'll do if you own a gun. You got to be very meticulous about it, because that gun can get you in so much trouble. This is not about telling you whether you should or should not own a gun. That's not what this is. This is the Nuance Machine, baby. That's not what we do. This is America. You got your Second Amendment right. If you want to own a gun, own a gun. But I personally think that proficiency in gun safety is a must. Gotta be good at gun safety. Gotta know that flashing your gun in a strip club on Instagram is extremely stupid and unnecessary. Gotta know that kind of behavior puts a target on your back. Gotta know that kind of behavior brings you unwanted attention. One of the biggest rules of gun safety is identify your target before shooting. And obviously I wasn't there and we need more details, but it sounds like to me whoever was pulling the trigger was shooting into the dark, or at the very least they didn't know that they were shooting at a bunch of teenagers. So really take precautions with that gun. Just be careful with it. That's it for this episode. Love you guys. Peace. I'll see you on the next one.